Just kidding. We're back. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Algebra 1, Common Core. In green this time. June 2015. Mr. Krause is here to help you with part 1. Problems 13 through 24. Hopefully this is helping. If this is your first video, just so you know, I don't like cheaters. So if you haven't done your own work, please go do your own work. It doesn't help. You will find all of this material organized very nicely at mrkrausemath.com. Look for Regents Review, then Algebra 1. It's pretty easy to find, mrkrausemath.com. What I have there is I have a copy of the exam, I have a copy of the multiple choice answer key, and then I have a breakdown of all the videos. And I have that for every Algebra 1 exam for you. So take a look at it. It's nice and organized for you. Should be easy to use. But let's get started. By the way, if you get 100 on the Regents exam, please let me know about it. I'd like to put you on my wall of fame. I have a wall of fame on my website. You'll notice there's very few people on it. I've been teaching 20 years. It's very difficult to get 100 on a Regents exam. I've had a lot of 99s and a lot of 98s and a lot of all that stuff, but not a lot of 100s. Kind of weird. Anyway, let's get started. Problem number, we'll start with cool blue. A laboratory technician represents the growth of a colony of bacteria recorded this. Which function could model this data? Well, if you plug in 0 as an exponent, that gives you 1. So like 25 to the 0 is equal to 1. So this one can't be right. If I plug in 0 here, 25 times 0 is 0, so that can't be right because we want it to come out to be 25. If we plug in 0 here, we do get 25. If we plug in 0 here, we get 25. So far that's good. Now we're going to do squared. And in this case, this would be 25 cubed. In this case, it would be 25 times 3, which would be 75. Certainly not 15,625. There's that. You could also come back over here and test it and do 25 raised to the 2 plus 1 just to check it, 15,625. Not too bad. That problem's pretty easy. Which quadratic function has the largest maximum? Okay, so the maximum here is going to be 1.5 comma, well actually you would think the largest maximum here is 9. The largest maximum here is 1, 2, who cares? This ain't it. Somewhere around 4, 4.25, 4.5, whatever. So I don't know about these two. These two, I'm going to have to actually graph these two. So 3 minus x, 2 plus x. So go into graphing mode. Boom, boom, boom. What was it? 3 minus x, 2 plus x. I'm going to guess this one's not it. 2 plus x. It just doesn't seem right. Looks like that one's maximum somewhere around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a little over 6. This one's 9, so that ain't it. And let's try that one. It's probably either, yeah, it could be either one of those. Let's go tab, up, tab, tab, tab. Why can I not get that? All right, get off my screen then. It doesn't like when I touch the screen with the pen. I don't know why. Tab. Okay, look. So there it is. Negative 5x squared. There, see? It's not working. Negative. Try it again. Negative 5. There we go. X squared minus 12x minus 12x plus 4. Ooh, that one's way up there. So that looks like, we can find the max when we go into menu, 5, graph trace, 1, and then just go, got a 0, there's a 0. And that maximum, it even says right there, say max, why didn't it say max? Normally it says maximum, but this one's up at 11.2, so here's the winner. That's the winner, 11.2. This one's only 9. Remember, the maximum value is looking for the y value. at which value is g of f of x less than g of x? Well, this one you just got to type them in. Now, if you typed in 3 to the negative 1 on your calculator, right, you would end up with 0.333, or it might give you 1/3. If I typed in negative 1 here, I would get 3. So this is 0.33 is less than 3. So it looks like this is the winner. If I plugged in 2 here, I get 3 squared, which is 9. If I plugged in 2 here, I would get 9. They're equal here. If I plugged in negative 3, 3 to the negative 3 is actually equal to, I don't even know. It's 1/27th, but I don't know what it is as a decimal. 3 raised to the negative 3 is, if I want to know what it is as a decimal, it's 0.03. So that would be 0.03. And then if I plugged in negative 3 here, I would have negative 1. So this is 0.03, which is positive, and this other one would be negative 1. Is that less? No, it's not less. And 4 is not less. 4 would be much bigger. The answer is 1. Choice 1. And it really goes to the fact that negative exponents have a lot to do with being fractions, not being negative. But whatever. That was a pretty simple one. All right. Beverly did a study this past, and she collected the cafeteria for ice cream sales and soda sales. Okay, I'm not sure what those would have to do with each other. Line of best fit and the correlation coefficient are before. All right, just because things have correlation doesn't mean they're causal. You all know the difference between causing something and correlation, correct? Correlation means you just found something that looks like they kind of go together, but this has no causation. Like, I don't drink ice cream bars. If I eat an ice cream bar, do I get thirsty? No, I just wanted ice cream. If I drink a soda, do I like all of a sudden crave ice cream? No, I might just want a soda. But it looks as though that the more ice cream bars sold, the more cans of soda sold. I don't know why, and it's got a high correlation coefficient. If that's near 1, there's a high correlation coefficient. So let's see if we can figure out what's going on. Eating more ice cream causes. See, here's that. Oh, there's that word causes. Causes a person to become thirsty. Does that even make sense to you? Just because you have a correlation doesn't really make sense. No, that one doesn't make sense. Gone. So anything with 1 in it doesn't make sense. Drinking more soda causes a person to become hungry. Does that make sense to you? I don't think so. There's a strong correlation between ice cream sales and soda sales. That's the only thing you can say about this, is somehow there's a strong correlation between ice cream sales, but they don't have anything to do with each other. They don't cause each other. Done. Okay, so this represents the value in dollars of a comic book T years after its purchase. The yearly rate of appreciation, means it's going up, of the comic book is, first of all, this comic book started at $1,350. What? Yes, this comic book started at $1,350. And here, remember, this is the increase in rate. So it's 1 plus the percentage. So the percentage in this case is 0.017. And if you remember correctly, to find that, this is the decimal. To find an actual percentage, I move the decimal twice. So this is 1.7%. Tough question, I think. Not bad, but, fair, but kind of a tough question. Speaking of tough questions, first of all, why would anybody do completing the square on a problem like this? I have no idea. So when directed to solve an equation by completing a square, Sam, I don't know why he would do this, arrived at the following equation. Which one of these would be correct? Okay, so since this is a minus, the second term has to be a minus. So these two don't make any sense. So it has to be one of these two. So I'm just going to pick one and do completing the square on it, because otherwise it would be kind of difficult. So x squared minus 5x plus square is equal to negative 7 plus square. So if I was doing this, I would add x minus 5 over 2. Remember, we're going to take half of it and square it. If I square 5 over 2, I get 25 over 4. So over here, I got to add 25 over 4. So this would be equal to negative 28 over 4 plus, by the way, I wouldn't be doing this way. I mean, I don't want to show you that I would do this way. I would just go to my calculator and go, okay. Negative 7 plus 25 divided by 4. Boom, it's negative 3/4. It's not 13/4. So that's not right. This problem's the exact same thing, except it's got negative 3 plus 25 over 4. So let's try negative 3 plus 25 divided by 4. And that one is 13/4. And there it is. So that's one way to solve this ridiculously stupid question. Another way to do it is, it's just a dumb question. It's somebody's idea of trying to get you to use fractions and completing a square, which you would never do. But the other way to do this is to bring this back and leave it as x minus 5 over 2 squared minus 13/4. And graph that and see if they're the same. They should be the same. So if I graph parenthesis x minus control division 5 over 2 squared minus 13 divided by 4, I'd get that. And then the other thing was, we'll hit tab and we'll graph x squared minus 5x plus 3 and it should be the same exact graph, and it is. So that's another way to do it. All right. Oh, you son of a... All right, so this next one, what we're going to be doing is solving for t. What is t in terms of a and d? So really, they're just trying to find t equals, and that should be obvious based on what they got here. What does t equal? All right, kids, the first thing you want to do is get rid of that fraction. I can't stress it enough. Fractions are not your friends. So what you're going to do is you're going to multiply both sides by 2. Well, this 1/2 and this 2 cancel. 1/2 times 2 is just 1. So you end up with 2d equals at squared. Still want to get t by itself, so we divide by a. That's gone. Now you've got t squared equals this. You just take the square root. And the answer is, ta-da! Oh, that's not the right answer. This is the right answer. I knew that didn't look right. It said dA. I'm like, why did that say dA? I circled the wrong answer. 2d divided by a all over square root. There's the right answer. Sorry about that. That's the right answer. I did not like this question. I did not like this question. Okay, so if you have 24 members and you divide it by 2, that means the 12th and 13th are the median. For the 12th and 13th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's the 12th. And here's the 13th. Now, it should be obvious based on the way the graph is that those two would end up in the middle. So based on what I have here, the median is equal to 1.4. So if all of a sudden we add one more number, we add 10 onto this. So let's do it in a different color. If I add 10 onto this, now I've got 25 items, and I divide that by 2, I get 12.5. Or the 13th number, this one right here is right in the middle. There's 12 here, and there's 12 here. That's hard to see. Let me see that. There's 12 here, and then there would be 12 here. Right? So this would be right in the middle. I should do that in a different color. 1.4 would be in the middle. So notice, before it was 1.4, and it's still 1.4. So neither will change. Wait, well, I don't know about the mean. The mean is true. What statement about the mean is true? Oh, all right. So I know the median's not going to change. So let's see if the median. So the median's not going to change. So both will increase. That's not true. Only the median will increase. That's not true. Only the mean will increase. That could be true. Neither will change. Well, we know, well, the median's not going to change, so I don't know. So if you add a 10 here, that means you're adding a bigger number. That means the mean has to go up. And if you were to add all those stuff together, you would find out that the mean actually increases. But I'm not going to add all those up and then divide by 25. You're adding a very large number to this group, and it's obviously going to bring the mean up. But the median did not change. That was a tough question. Sort of tough. What would be the next step? Well, this is, you're doing this by completing the square. Your next step would be to take the square root of this side and to take the square root of this side and not forget to do plus or minus. So it would be 3x minus 1 plus or minus 5. Wow, that was a simple question. So this is an interesting one. You've got a block. Oh, I don't know why that came up. You got a block on the top. And you got a block on the bottom, and then you stuck 4 in the middle. And then you had those, and you stuck 4 more. And then you had those, and you had those, and then you stuck 4 more in the middle. So it looks like we just keep adding 4. That's 4. Now we're going to go up 8. Now we're going up 12. So we just keep adding 4 to the mix. So we started with 2, and we're adding repeated values of 4. So this one doesn't kind of make sense. Start with 2, and then add repeated values of 4. This one kind of makes sense. I don't know if that's true. So let's try this. Plug in 1 here. If I plug in 1, I get 4 times 1 minus 2 is 2. That seems to work. Plug in 2. 4 times 2 is 8 minus 2 is 6. There's 6. Try 3. 4 times 3 is 12 minus 2 is 10. There's 10. Oh, so this one works too. 2 and 3 both work, kids. 2 left. 2 left, children. 2 left on this one. Yay! What are the solutions of this? All right, so they obviously use completing the square here. So we'll just use completing the square. So we get x squared minus 8x plus square equals 24 plus square. So this is going to be x minus 4, half of this, squared is 16. So in these parentheses, we'll put 16, 16. Equals, and on this side, so we get 40. Now we'll take the square root of both sides. Don't forget to put a plus or minus. So I get x minus 4 equals plus or minus the square root of 40. Bring the 4 over, I get 4 plus or minus the square root of 40. So it's positive 4 plus or minus the square root of 40. And if you simplify the square root of 40, that's the square root of 4 times the square root of 10, which is 2 square roots of 10. Ka-ching. Oh. This was a nasty problem, I thought. Natasha, I remember reading about this one. Natasha is planning a celebration. It's going to cost her $750 for the caterer, and the drinks per person are $2.25. She wants to make sure her guests don't spend over this, under this, or somewhere between those two numbers. Ooh, man. How did this problem get done? Let's see. So the total costs would be $7.50 plus $2.25 per person. And that should be greater than 2.75 per person, right? Because that's the minimum. The minimum would be that. So if I did that, I go 750. This would be the cheapest they could spend is 725. So 750 is greater than 0.50p. I probably should have shown my math there. Sorry. I subtracted 2.25p. I subtract 2.25p, and I get 50 cents. So if I divide by 0.50 and divide by 0.50, I get the number of people has to be less than 1,500. Well, I think at that, this is probably the right answer then. I probably should check that, though, by doing the next equation. The next equation will be 750 plus 2.25p has to be less than 3.25p. Let me solve that one. Subtract that, I get 750p is less than, so by subtracting 2.25, I get 1p. Oh, well, p is greater than, there's no p here. P is greater than 750. Oh, there it is. That's it, kids. There she goes. Kind of a tricky question, though. That was a nasty reading question, that last one. All right, if you hit the, yeah, we're done. Oh, we're done with the multiple choice. We're not done with the rest of the test. Oh, I got more to do. Anyway, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. If you get 100, let me know about it, but you got to send me proof, okay? Bye, kids. Bye. Till next time. I had no coffee.